I had one poster, but it was a great poster. It was a life-size poster of Harvey Villachet.
You did? Wow.
But not from Fantasy Island. From his appearance in the James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun.
From when he was in a mariachi band?
No, he was. But he was in a tasteful two-piece. Well, here we are, boys. Sour, stout.
Right. Which is which? I want to be stout.
Depends on the day.
Can I be stout?
Depends on the day. You weren't stout going into that headwind today on your bike.
No, I wasn't. I was a little sour. I was sour after the headwind.
We are definitely into the windy part of bicycling season.
Oh, it was rough today, but good.
So we had Club 76, 1976, which is a American Legion post inside of North Liberty, Iowa, has an event every year. It's a fundraiser for some of the philanthropic stuff that they donate to, including veterans and the Boy Scouts. Yeah. So they fly in oysters. I think there are at least two or three different variety of oysters, and they are 48 hours fresh. I mean, they are
so good.
Taken out of a body of water, put in a crate, iced down, put on a plane, flown into Chicago or Cedar Rapids, and then on a Saturday morning are served to us, as well as sours and stouts that are really super hard to get your hands on. But anyway, the American Legion Post does that as a fundraiser every year, and the three of us have been committed to it for a while, 5 or 6 years, you guys together. And
it just keeps getting better.
Right.
Yep.
In general, it sounds like a bad idea.
Right.
Iowa oysters.
Right. Right.
Okay. Let's get people together and eat oysters in Iowa and drink sours and stouts, and it's magic.
Yeah.
They pull it off. So good.
Yeah, they do such a great job. They do. It really is kind of magical to have a high-quality oyster in the state of Iowa. Yeah, and it's fun. And you can get VIP tickets. John was able to get VIP tickets this year, which allows you to basically start drinking high-octane sours and stouts at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
It takes planning, so I always just dovetail in with John's plan, right?
Yeah.
Coattail with John.
But the critical part of the VIP is it also gives you access to be inside.
Oh, yeah.
At the venue, which this time of year,
we have done
Oyster Fest where it's 80 degrees and beautiful, and we've done it in the snow. So,
yeah.
And this year was pretty windy and a little inclement, so it was nice to be able to be indoors.
Yeah. But Jeremy does a great job with it.
Fantastic.
The other thing that's kind of nice about it is after Oyster Fest, if they have anything on tap, they try to blow it out. So you can go like Sunday afternoon and get really cheap sours and stouts so they can clean the lines on Monday. So
would you be surprised to know that John and I were at 76 last night?
Oh, that doesn't surprise me.
And they still had about half the stouts and sours.
Oh, did they?
On the tap lines.
Yeah.
Wow.
The bake sale was still, I couldn't believe that was surviving.
Oh, I can't either. That was my favorite.
I'm still processing the bake sale.
Yeah, the bake sale was my favorite of the entire day. That was great.
Yeah.
Well, I might have to go out there with a growler if they still have
There you
bake
go.
sale on tap.
It was there last night.
There you go. Yeah.
And
after this,
they do a whiskey raffle, and
they do.
Brad was a winner.
Yeah.
Go ahead and sing if you want to.
I'm not going to sing, but I did come away with a bottle,
right?
Which I was super happy with, and stupidly, I succumbed to peer pressure and cracked it on site.
Was it stupidly? Because, dude, as soon as you cracked that open, you were wearing a cape.
I was happy.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was the right thing to do.
It was.
Yeah.
So
Ray took it home, so now we've got some here in the studio, which I think we need to get into a little later in the show.
We shall.
Or maybe now.
So part of this whiskey and sour, stout, and oyster festival is they have a whiskey raffle, and
it's a great lineup.
Yeah, it's a really quite amazing that a lot of people donate to it out of their own cellars. They all that money goes into Eagle Project specifically and for Boy Scouts. And boy, it is a really impressive row of whiskeys. And when people win, they almost immediately take their winnings and put it into their car to kill the temptation.
Get the hell out of there.
Brad wins it. He kind of like sets it in front of him. Like 45 seconds later, I'm hearing crack, 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 and Brad's pouring out. It looked like a Snoop Dogg video. Everybody had their cups out there wanting a little bit of it. So
it was like holy water at the Vatican on Easter.
Yeah. Right.
People were like lining up to get a little trinkle of it.
Good times.
But no, you were a hero. Everybody else was kind of hoarding it, and Brad was out there
No.
sharing it. So
Let's enjoy it.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy
I'll
it.
always
Why not?
remember that moment.
Yeah.
So, anything else, you guys? You haven't traveled, have you?
No, we buzzed in for Cubs opening day, which was a good time, and hit a couple dive bars around Wrigley that we've talked about before, and reaffirmed our need to go over there and do kind of a deeper dive. But we hit Old Town Ale House, which is a legendary dive bar across from Second City, and famous spot. And we talked to the bartender there, so we need to go over and sit down and spend a little time and capture some audio for the pod someday. But yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
And the Cubs unfortunately lost. The weather was inclement, but such as opening day at Wrigley.
There you go.
Man, I don't know if we're going to have the pitching to get it done this year. I don't know. But who knows? I mean, it's the Cubs. We've won with less. We've lost with more. So,
Right.
Well said.
Yes. Yes.
So anyway, all right. Well, sitting in with us today, Joe, you're back with us, man. How's it going?
Good. Thanks for having me.
Joe, if you remember, is our whiskey expert. He's the one that kind of walked us through our whiskey tasting. So
He'll be the judge of Brad's winnings here. Sure.
Right.
right. I always make sure that I have somebody to drive me home, Uber or one of my family members whenever Joe visits, because things get a little bit murky.
Yeah.
He drinks brown juice like most of us drink beer.
Right. All right, boys, should we get at it?
Let's tackle it.
All right. Back before Google could settle an argument in 3 seconds and before your phone knew more than your high school history teacher, a couple of Canadians in 1979 looked at a Scrabble board, ran out of tiles, and said, "You know what this needs? More useless knowledge." And just like that, Trivia Pursuit was born. A game that turned random facts into social currency, ruined friendships over whether or not Pluto counted as a planet, and gave every uncle at Thanksgiving a stage for his oddly specific expertise. So tonight, we honor the original pub quiz in a box, the game that proved knowing things is fun until it becomes competitive. Our focus tonight, Trivia Pursuit.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this was one of the board games that would occupy a sleepover for sure. And, it really did kind of favor people that had old souls or
Read books.
Yeah, or read books, right?
Right.
I will say, if you actually spent time with an encyclopedia or a set of encyclopedias, then you had an advantage.
Yeah.
Unless you were looking at the naked people.
Right. You're going.
Then you had other advantages, I guess.
No. I guess my only input on Trivial Pursuit, when it came out, to me, that was the first game that, like, the families would all form up, like, for us, it was like Thanksgiving, Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You'd make teams.
Yeah.
You'd gather around. Like, prior to that, you might do a Monopoly or a Risk, but it was everyone for themselves. This was like the first kind of team game where you get 2 or 3 to a team around the table.
Yeah.
And is like the 13-year-old self that I was back then, I only wanted the thing to land on orange, which was sports, because I did not have much to offer.
That was your wheelhouse.
outside of the sports.
Yeah.
Yep.
We would get heated. I mean, I remember we had an early set, and we'd have people over. It got competitive, to your point earlier. It could get nasty. It was like it's meant to be like kind of a fun.
So there were 6
evening.
categories, right? Do you have this queued up, or am I going to put you on the spot? The original Trivia Pursuit, were there 6 categories? I think that's what it was.
So is geography, entertainment,
Yeah.
Okay.
history,
Yep.
Okay.
arts and leisure, science and nature, and
Orange.
sports and leisure.
Sports.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there were 6.
Sports and leisure.
Now, there were other editions of
Yes,
it where it
the
did pop
yeah.
culture
There were
and
multiple
movies
spins.
and decades
Yeah.
and things like that. I think there's like Star Wars,
Yeah.
Trivia Pursuit and stuff. But yeah, so geography, entertainment, history, arts and literature, science, nature, and sports and leisure.
Yeah.
So
But Brett, you probably always wanted to land on the purple, the arts and leisure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was good there.
Joe. Geography. Were you a geography guy?
Well, you talk about making teams. You need to find someone older in the family
Yeah.
for some of the,
Yeah.
that history, the arts,
Yes.
those kind of things. Us kids,
Oh, yeah.
You only had the contemporary stuff. Maybe
Pop
the sports.
culture.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, if you and your cousin were stuck with the uncle,
Yeah.
and we all had that one uncle in our family that like knew nothing, right?
Right.
I mean, if gasoline was a category, he'd be fine, but
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
then you were screwed. You're gonna get one piece of pie
Right.
the whole game and take a loss.
right. If the question started off in the movie, some like
Yeah.
it hot,
Yeah.
You were like,
Oh, I'm out. Or who got Grandpa, who would like question the answer. That's not right.
That's exactly
I remember
right.
this. That was
No,
who
exactly.
made this game.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's always just Korea. There was no North Korea or South Korea. It's Korea. So in 1979, two Canadian journalists, Chris Haney and Scott Abbott, were the ones that sat down and they literally had missing pieces of Scrabble. So that's how it got started. So instead of fixing it, they decided to invent a new game that actually, I think probably is, for me anyway, a bad speller, probably arguably better, because I collect useless knowledge. So, in 1983, it exploded so much that it became one of the biggest selling games that year, knocking off Monopoly, which has also always been a huge game. So, it kind of bled over into coffee shops and bars too. That that kind of when it left the house, the front room, it wasn't unusual, especially at places like Deadwood or the Hilltop, where you would see like 2 or 3 editions of it sitting there, where you could just like go pull it off a shelf and play there. So
Yeah.
And you can still do it at George's.
yeah.
The board games, including Trivial Pursuit, are still behind the bar.
Dublin probably too. Yeah.
So over the years, there have actually been lawsuits and tournament play over the accuracy of questions and answers, where players have sued other players and have tried to sue the company for the accuracy. You have to be kind of an a-hole, but there goes that uncle that just refuses to back down on some of the questions, or some of the answers, I should say.
Oh, that would be my grandpa. I think I probably lost slices of pumpkin pie through the years because of disputed answers.
Yeah.
Trivial Pursuit should have taken legal action.
I'll tell you that when Trivia Pursuit actually got better for me, it was during the late 80s, like when they started refreshing the questions, the slide decks, and they started putting in a lot more of the pop culture, where you would start seeing like, this multi-platinum singer was originally in a brother band back in, it was Michael Jackson.
Right.
I mean, he had so they were talking about the dude that had the #1 album at that time. So that's kind of when it got a lot more.
Yeah.
And when they started folding in Michael Jordan, and they started folding in, all the contemporary stuff.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure.
well, boys, what I thought we would do tonight is I would pepper you with some questions. If you know the answer to the question, you'll say Joe, John, or Brad, and then you'll have a couple seconds to answer the question. How's that sound?
Okay.
All right.
Try us. Are you going to tell us the category before the question, or is it just random?
It will be somewhat random. Here.
That's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So Mario debuted as a playable character in one 1981 video game. So where did we see Mario first?
Donkey Kong.
Oh,
John's right.
okay.
John's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that wasn't even sports.
Yeah.
Was that
Wow.
arts and, I'm going to call that arts and leisure. I just got the purple.
Right. So what was the princess's name? Who was he going after as princess? I mean, because that was the whole goal of the game, was for Mario.
Yeah, he had to save from the princess from Kong.
Yeah. I don't know.
On the Wii, it's Princess Peach, like Mario Kart.
Oh,
Wii.
Princess Pauline.
Pauline.
Okay.
Okay.
Peach must be
Yeah.
her sister.
All right.
So
Yeah, when you said Mario, I was going to say Mario Kart, which was like too obvious. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, all the quarters I spent in Aladdin's Castle didn't go to waste.
we had a deal. We had one arcade in Centerville. It's called Galaxy Port.
Oh.
And if you were the first person in line when they opened up at 9 o'clock, you got 4 quarters. Second person got 3 quarters on down the line. And so depending on where I was with lawn mowing and or
Your paper route.
Your paper routes, snow, shoveling. You might find me at the number 1 or 2 position.
Yeah.
It was kind of a. I don't want to say I was always short on money, but there was definitely like 4 or 5 kids that were always battling for a little bit of a couple extra quarters. But yeah, that was kind of the place to have. I'll tell you where they made a lot of the money was the Coke machines and all the snack
candy,
machines.
the candy
in there.
dispenser. Yeah, I remember going to the YMCA, and we figured out that we would go there not necessarily for the video games, but we'd play like pool or foosball or whatever. And if the game or if the dispenser was kind of slightly off, and you figured out that you could like pull, get us. I think it was 3 Musketeers bars. Like if you hit the certain number, it would dispense more than one.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're just there getting the free giant candy bar as your big reward for going to the YMCA.
John, we talked about this one time, how Pizza Huts would have the sit-down video games.
Yeah,
and
the
usually,
tabletop.
and the
Pac-Man.
Pizza Huts was kind of the first one that would load up multiple. You'd have Galaga, Donkey Kong, Pac-Man, and it'd be all on a machine, one machine.
Yeah, the experience of Pizza Hut in the day is unmatched, and I don't think people could really appreciate how it kind of rolled into a place with some ambiance for the parents.
Yeah.
And arcade for the kids, good pizza, salad bar, pitchers of soda. It was amazing and bygone.
Yeah.
It's gone.
Well, now you can have it in one device. Like you could have 200 games in your phone or whatever, and the action is real time. Well, there's actually, I will be honest, I played one of those stand-up machines at Costco, and the size of the machine is not apples to apples to what a full-size machine is, but all of the joystick action was exactly like it. The speed of it was just as fast. I mean, it would have scratched an itch if I was a 12-year-old kid to have that machine.
Well, they've brought back the original Pizza Huts, right? There's like maybe a dozen of them around the country, and one in Chicago, which maybe we need to incorporate into our visit there someday.
Right, I'd like that. Yeah, no, I'd like that a lot. I was just in the Washington Pizza Hut. Like,
oh, were you really?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago.
On the 4 lanes there.
Yeah, they still got that. It's not. It's not one of the throwback packages, but it's pretty darn close.
Yeah. Log some time in there.
All right, you guys want to do a little sports here?
Sure,
Yeah.
let's give it a go.
All right. How old was Mike Tyson when he became the heavyweight champion in 1986?
19.
That's
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a guess?
I was going 19 all the way.
19.
He was 20 years old.
Okay. All right. Must have won his first bout at 19.
Started.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know if you guys were like this, but we would go to bars to go watch him fight. And after the fight was done, like the bar would just clear out.
And it could be like 12 seconds.
Right.
It was must see, much watch.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. First round.
Much like the Pizza Hut of yesteryear, I don't think kids today would not understand what the heavyweight boxing title of the world meant.
Yeah.
In the 70s and 80s. It was like Larry Holmes.
Right.
It was must-watch TV. Now, when
sure.
Larry Holmes had the belt, it was it was ABC, right? It was not pay-per-view.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. And I think that came along during the Tyson era. And to your point, Joe, you would pay the money, you would go to a bar and pay a cover charge, and you expected it to be like a 12. You wanted it to be like a 12-second fight.
Yeah.
And remember, like, the pomp and circumstance around boxing, the sweet science. They'd come out in the robes, the tassels, and Tyson would come out in just black shoes and like a towel with a hole cut in it over his neck.
Yeah.
I mean, it was great.
Yeah.
It was like Clubber Lang in real life. He just destroyed people. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you guys actually watch when he bit Evander Holyfield?
Yes.
I saw that.
100%.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It
sure.
was. I mean, it really, and even if you had a date, like she would be excited about, oh, we went to the fight, but yeah, he was really one of the greatest in a time when there were a lot of greatest. I mean, Jordan was the greatest. There were a lot of greatest. And he was one of those guys.
Absolutely. It was pre-UFC, but it was better than UFC. It was bigger and more captivating. It was unbelievable what boxing was in its heyday.
Do you want to move on to another one of the greatest?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Which tennis star won 3 consecutive Wimbledon titles in the 1980s?
I'm going to say McEnroe.
I'm going to say Bjorn Borg.
I was going to say Borg.
It was John McEnroe.
Was it McEnroe?
Yeah.
You have to be kidding.
Johnny Mac.
Yes.
Heck yeah.
That was another time. When ABC had Wide World of Sports.
Yeah.
That was really special when that was on. Because, I mean, on any given afternoon, you might see Wimbledon, you might see the Tour de France, you might see bullfighting, you might see gymnastics, you might see... I mean, it was crazy. But he was very different than any... I mean, he excited that sport.
Yeah.
Well, that whole era, McEnroe O'Connor, that rivalry that was must-watch TV. I would dare say my kids have probably never watched a professional tennis match on TV.
Right.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of, I don't know, most kids today probably have not. But again, in our era, especially Wimbledon, that was kind of like a Super Bowl. I mean,
sure.
you watched Wimbledon.
Yeah.
You did not watch it, right?
Right.
You had to. It was must-watch TV, and those were great characters. Bjornborg, McEnroe, Connors.
Billie Jean King.
Yeah.
Yvonne Lindell.
Right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. He was like kind of changed the sport because was he not the first aluminum racket? Because
Yeah.
they were wood, right? McEnroe and all them, that was like wooden rackets. And then like late 80s, early 90s, it switched and serve speeds went from 90 to 110.
Yeah.
You know?
Now, my recollection of this, and I was a kid, but my recollection of this was tennis. It was an accessible, kind of exotic sport. I mean, at that time, if you played golf, then you probably belonged to the country club.
Yeah.
But tennis had public tennis courts. I mean, you could
Right.
go play tennis, and a lot of people had tennis rackets. And now I think golf has kind of turned into that. I think anybody that has a couple $100 can go out and find golf and be kind of okay and pretend like they're golfing legends. But at the time, watching tennis was something that you appreciated because you played it, because it was...
Well, Andre Agassi came along, and he had a signature shoe that was like the Jordan. Air Jordan, I think, was the first one in the mid-'80s, and then Andre Agassi had this tennis shoe that if you told me it outsold Air Jordans like in the late 80s, it wouldn't surprise me because I worked at a sporting goods store at the time, and like the Agassi was as popular as Air Jordans. That's how big tennis was.
Was it a
back
Nike
then.
product? I don't remember.
100%. It was a Nike product. It was like
Okay.
purple and green, and
Okay.
so it was probably late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Fit into that motif. But yeah, tennis was a deal, and it's very much a niche sport now.
All right, here, I will serve up a lollipop for you boys. We'll switch categories here. What was the name of the theme park the Griswolds were traveling to in National Lampoon's Vacation?
Gosh, can anyone name that? Brad, we're just going to let you go with it, Brad. Go
The moose
ahead.
out front should have told you.
Wally World.
Wally World.
Yeah.
Wally World. What was it? Roy Wally World.
Yep.
Sorry, folks. Park's closed. Moose out front should have told you.
That was such a great movie, and I think it really kind of nailed everybody's kind of common experience of what a vacation was like with the family. And also, I want to say that summer was like super hot, so being inside of a air-conditioned movie theater, it seemed like that was one of those movies everybody had seen once or twice. But
Oh, yeah, or 3 or 4 times.
Right.
Everyone had that committed to memory.
And the other thing about that movie was it also hit about the time when VCRs, whether you had one or you had to go rent it, that was like one of the movies that you rented, it always had. Or if somebody was going to buy a movie, so if you did rent a VCR or had a VCR, that you would have it at your house, so you didn't have to rent it again. So,
well, and if you've seen the John Candy documentary, I Like Me, that they were at a kind of a crossroads or a stalemate, the writers and producers, of what to do with that ending of the movie when they got to the park. And that was a character that John had played on SCTV, and he kind of did it as a solid.
It was so good
to plug in and play that character as the security guard, and really was the perfect note,
so great.
for that whole sequence.
Yeah.
who played Roy Wally? Eddie Bracken.
Okay.
Let me see what he...
Picture him. What else was he in?
Yeah, I'm going after that now. This is where somebody's uncle would be very handy right now.
Yeah.
If you were to say Eddie Bracken, he would know.
Well, he was like the first lieutenant in McHale's Navy, right?
Right. Well, actually, he was in our gang. He was one of the many people that was in our gang, which was, I think, part of the Little Rascals group. He had a show. Eddie Bracken actually had a show. He had numerous radio shows. Come on. There's got to be something more than National Lampoons. He was in Showboat, but that was his high point was he was in the theatrical rendition of Showboat, where he played Captain Hawk.
Wasn't he the toy store owner in Home Alone 2? Or
Yes,
and then
he absolutely was in New York.
In New York City. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's exactly where he was. Yeah,
Bracken?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was.
He gave
There's
him
no
the-
doubt about that.
He gave what's his name, the Turtle Doves.
The Turtle Doves. Good
Yes.
pull. That's absolutely right.
Wow. Joe coming in with a
Yes.
deep
Yeah.
cut there.
Can I count that for the geography section?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The New York trivia.
Yes.
Joe
That
gets a
was-
gold
That was a
piece of the
deep cut.
triangle.
Yeah.
That's a great pull, and that is
Eddie
absolutely
Bracken.
right.
Wow.
All right, we'll go on here with another entertainment. What kind of car does Ferris Bueller borrow from Cameron's dad in Ferris Bueller's Day Off? I will just take the...
Porsche.
No, it's a Ferrari, but it's a '68 Ferrari. Let's get more specific. Joe, do you know the year?
No.
I would say like it's 68 is what I'm going to guess.
I thought it was a Porsche.
Sir Mac could know. He would know exactly what it is.
Would he slap me? Silly.
Yeah, he would
for
slap
saying-
all of us.
Yeah.
It's kind of one of the most famous Ferraris. It's a 61 250 GT, which was kind of the what you would see all the, everybody have. I can't remember what Magnum PI had, but he had the the early
the GT,
80s version. Yeah,
the mid 80s.
so
Personalized plates on that? Anyone want to remember that? I'm pretty sure it
no.
was Nervous, wasn't it? Wasn't those the personalized plates on?
Could be. Yeah.
Cameron's dad's car? I'm pretty sure.
let my people go. Yeah, that I will tell you, that show was super iconic. It's it
Absolutely.
put Chicago on the map in about 20 different ways. Who was the sausage king of Chicago?
Oh,
Abe
yeah.
Froman.
Abe Froman.
Abe Froman, the sausage king of
Yeah.
Chicago.
Yeah. That was great.
It also catapulted the name Sloan for girls
Yeah.
for about 30 years.
Yeah.
I want Sloan out in front of the high school in 20 minutes. And I want you out there too.
God damn it, Rooney.
Rooney.
He goes into the arcade. Your ass is mine. And grabs the girl. Looks like Pat Benatar. Classic scene. So we talked about opening day. I mean, obviously that's a great sequence of the movie is when they go to the Cubs game. And for many years when my son was young, we had a tradition of skipping one day of school and going to a Cubs game. We
that's
called it our
awesome.
Ferris Bueller Day. So
That's awesome.
my Cubs jersey that I wear is Bueller 85 that I
love
always
it.
wear to Wrigley.
I love it.
I think probably one of the most moving scenes, and it actually moved me the first time I saw it, is when they're going through the Chicago Art Institute.
Oh, yeah.
And they get to the picture of Sunday day off or Sunday afternoon, whatever it's called, where they're all kind of looking
Yep.
at the lakefront. It's an
Yeah.
impressionistic photo or painting. A Sunday on Le Grand Jatte by George Seurat, 1884. And even then, I understood that you need to take a day to just relax, you know. And when we were kids, every day was fun. Every day you wanted to shoot baskets. Every day you wanted to play. But that was not wasted on me. The fact that they spent so much time with that painting. So
And that if you see any documentaries about John Hughes, like that was studio did not want to pay for like the 2 days of filming to do that sequence. But he wanted that in because it turned the movie from just a kind of a slapstick comedy into a very poignant, coming of age movie. And he did that in a lot of his other movies as well. But that was clearly a defining moment in that movie that gave it a lot of depth.
Yes, it's like, isn't it right when you come in? It's like one of the first big walls when you enter the Chicago Art Institute.
I think my favorite part of this painting of everything is the fact that a woman has a monkey on a leash. she's got a small dog and a monkey on a leash. That must have been the thing to have. I don't know. So, all right. Any more information about Ferris Bueller's Day Off you want to share?
No, I think we're good.
All right. Let's go to a different category here.
Geography. Here we go.
I don't know if we can go to geography, but we can
Just
go
kidding.
to who is most commonly referred to as the king of pop during the 1980s.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, Michael Jackson became the king of pop, so I guess that's got to be the answer even in the 80s, unless
Right.
a 70s star was called that in the 80s, but I would say
Michael
I would say the
Jackson.
sequin glove, right?
Right. And who was referred to as the queen of pop during the 1980s? This gets harder because there were a
Madonna?
couple queens.
Whitney Houston?
I don't think it's Whitney.
Okay.
I'm going Madonna, but I don't know.
It was Madonna.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Good call.
Let's see how many hits Madonna had.
Well, she had like a surgeon.
So I had
A Madonna poster above your bed.
a Madonna poster.
Yeah.
In fishnet.
Yeah.
So my wall had an Iron Maiden poster, a Grateful Dead poster,
Yeah.
and Madonna.
Sure.
So there you go.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Nope. Brad played Trivial Pursuit by himself a lot in the 80s.
I
So-
also had the movie poster for what did I tell you, John? I went on a bike ride recently. It was
Oh, God.
Blame It on Rio.
Oh, blame it on Rio. That
Remember
was
when you could go down to the theater and after they put the posters up, they would sell them or maybe even give them away. I don't even know if I paid for them. but I somehow got my hands on the Blame It on Rio poster, and it was on the back of the door.
Yeah.
The back of the door to my bedroom.
It was kind of
Blame
a
It on
risque poster for the
It
80s.
was.
Yeah, it was. I remember that movie poster.
It was awesome to have something that had cultural reference to it.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it could be
Like
a movie that really nobody cared about, but they knew it was a movie poster.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Or just having like albums displayed, like having a Men at Work album displayed in your
Right,
room was
right.
kind of a cool thing.
Yeah.
Or a jersey, a Jordan basketball jersey hanging up on your
Yep.
wall. So
Yeah.
Well, you named your 3 posters. The top 3 I had on my wall, I had a Christy Brinkley, the
Okay.
blue swimsuit one.
Yep.
Heather Locklear in the
Oh,
hot
yeah.
tub, and then I had a movie poster, Cobra, Sylvester Stallone, Cobra, the match hanging. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, 100%. Yeah, yep.
Joe?
Crime
No,
is a
I-
disease. I'm
any-
the cure.
The only one I had was the classic Farrah Fawcett.
Oh,
That was a great
Yeah,
one.
if you're gonna have one, that's
Yes.
the one to have.
My buddy Scott Kinsler had that, and I was very jealous of that. Yeah.
Joe, where'd you grow up?
Iowa City, I guess, middle school through high school.
So you had a lot of places that you could get stuff. Did you actually did you go into town like when you were in high school? Were you allowed to go like into the downtown?
We didn't. I did not like Phipps did.
Right.
He no.
Yeah, he ran
Yeah, we
wild.
belong to the city.
Yeah.
back then.
He ran wild.
But you only had one poster. I mean, Farrah Fawcett's a strong poster, but you
Great.
didn't like have
Yeah.
additional.
Just keep it
No,
simple.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
less is more sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I had a Dick Butkus poster at one time too.
Was it a taste great, less filling poster?
No,
Or
it was like
just a
him
kid
and
playing
like
football.
remember the posters that looked kind of like the cards you would get? It was one of those.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like a very basic.
Well, when I was like 10 years old, I had the Dallas Cowboys Doomsday Defense, like the
Yeah.
poster with them in a graveyard, and then I
Yeah.
had Meadowlark Lemon
Metal.
from the Harlem Globetrotters.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And then about 12, 13, you rip that down and put up Christy Brinkley.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Like, you're right. I think when I had Dick Butkus, it was like much earlier than.
right.
I had one poster, but it was a great poster. It was a life-size poster of Harvey Villachet,
You did? Wow.
but not not from Fantasy Island. From his appearance on the James Bond movie, The Man with the Golden Gun.
From when he was in a mariachi band.
No, it was. But he was in a tasteful two-piece. So- All right. Any more
On
about
that note, any more about small people posters?
All right, let's go back to
Yeah, now geography.
The Simpsons originally debuted as a series and a short of what television show?
Tracy Ullman Show.
That's right, yeah.
Didn't have it.
Really.
Yeah, so it was a short. It was like a 3-minute short in the Tracy Ullman Show. And the Tracy Ullman Show was one of the Fox Broadcasting's very first shows that they had. The only way you could get Fox, it wasn't on a cable package, was over the air. It was on an aerial. Matter of fact, the first time I ever saw The Simpsons, I was in Cincinnati, Iowa. And we were at the Dudley's house, and all they had was aerial television. They had an
Yeah.
antenna that you had to kind of
Yeah.
navigate.
Tuned
And
it in.
the first time I saw a Tracy Ullman show, I was like, "What is this?" I mean, because it was like it was like Carol Burnett, except not reverent at all.
Yeah.
It was great.
So Tracy Ullman, that's Donnie, and then there was Donnie Ullman, and then Marie, and then Tracy. Was she
no, but go ahead and keep telling
Yeah.
us the story because
Yeah.
I like the direction.
She was the sister in the Brothers band, right?
I'm a little bit country.
The first time I saw The Simpsons, it was a short that played before movies in Milwaukee. Because we
Yeah.
would go to Milwaukee several times a year for holidays because we had family there. And at like the Marcus Theaters, they would play little cartoon shorts. And it was The Simpsons, like whatever, early
Right.
80s.
Right.
And same as you. It was like mind blowing. Like, this is the most hilarious thing, most irreverent thing.
Right.
And then it was years later, it became a thing on Fox TV that we all saw. But
Right.
It was
I will tell you, the thing that made me love it the most was the fact that, like, Tipper Gore hated it, the Catholic Church hated it, everybody hated it, and the main reason they hated it was because Bart Simpson told his dad to eat my shorts.
Yeah.
It's like irreverent.
Oh,
Right.
I was like, I watched it like, what's the big hubbub? Other than the fact that authority did not like it, I was like, I am really into this. But
and then it spawned things like South Park.
Yeah.
That have like made it PG all the way. Like
Right.
Simpsons are not even on
Right.
the radar of irreverent now.
Right.
But, yeah.
The only thing that was like really a little bit controversial, well, actually it was a lot controversial, was every episode of The Simpsons ended with Homer strangling Bart, like actually putting hands on it and Bart's eyes popping out
Yeah.
and him losing a little bit of breath and stuff like that. That's what parents should have been, but that's what the parents like most attached with. Like, yeah, I would still kill my kid if I could, but they were worried about the
Eat
eating my shorts.
I thought the most controversial thing was the arcade game sucked so bad. Like, it
Yeah,
had
it
so
was a
much
big
potential, and it was a terrible arcade game.
It was a whiff. All right, here we go. What city did the Golden Girls live in?
No idea.
Well, if we're going to take a random guess, Pensacola, Florida.
I was going to say West Coast. I was going to say somewhere in California. But
The house that it's filmed is absolutely in California, but I think I would guess the setting was Florida. Joe, where you at?
Oh, I don't know, like Sun City West and Phoenix.
Yeah, okay,
know.
there you go. And the
That would be-
villages. Those randy swingers lived in the villages
Yes.
back in the day.
Right. Everybody gets a penicillin shot. So it was Miami, Florida.
Miami. Okay. All right.
So it kind of resurrected the careers of several of the women.
Yeah. Well, especially Maud.
Right.
Like B. Arthur. She's like
Yeah.
more woman than most women you know, and more man than most men you know.
I love that you refer to her as Maud. And then there's Maud. That was a spinoff. I think that was an Archie Bunker spinoff. I think
you're 100% right. It was. She was
think
like the
Maud,
Archie's.
yeah. So
Or she was Edith's sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah, where they had to like,
Edith Bunker's
they had to
sister.
take the train to like Queens to see her, and Archie had to like navigate the train station, and it was a wonderfully politically incorrect episode.
That's great.
So,
Maud.
Can you name another great spinoff of Archie Bunker?
Jeffersons.
Yes,
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
That was probably the ultimate.
and that maybe came as close to meeting the excellence of Archie Bunker.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Also, wonderful theme song.
Yeah.
TV
Oh.
theme song. Moving on up.
Lost art TV theme songs, right? I mean, they were so good in the 70s and 80s. There was like an art form to them.
Right.
Totally.
Well, I mean, the part of the theme song was great, and we can go back to Gilligan's Island.
Yeah.
If you had never seen one episode of Gilligan's Island,
yeah.
if you listen to the theme song, boom, you're caught up.
Yeah.
You just listen to the theme song. All right, here I am.
Yeah.
What's the episode? There's Harlem Globetrotters. Makes sense.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
coconuts and radios. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Mhm. And all the theme songs are like that. It told the
Yeah.
story of the show without
Yeah.
you ever having to watch an episode.
Every once in a while, you would get a theme song that you knew wasn't for you, but it turned you on to stuff like the theme song of Chico and the Man.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, I appreciate other cultures. That was about as much
Yeah.
culture as I had growing up in 52544, but I knew it was different and I appreciated it.
Right?
So some of these women didn't necessarily get along here on the Golden Girls.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think B. Arthur was a good part
Was
of the
part of it.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
She didn't get along with a lot of people. But I'm trying to find the age of how old these women were.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising. I'm pretty sure if you look it up, because whoever played the oldest, that was was like the youngest actress in the whole thing.
Yeah.
So at the start of the show, Sophia Petrello, who was Estelle Getty, was 62. Betty White was 63. B. Arthur was 63. And Rue McClanahan was 51. So B. Arthur and Betty White were the same. Actually, Estelle, the oldest, the one that was supposed to look the oldest, was 62.
Okay.
And I think Estelle went off and got cosmetic surgery and came back after a layoff, and the makeup department was like, "What the hell? What?" She looks like she's like
You're ruining it.
in her mid-40s now. What are we
right.
supposed to do?
Right.
Well, how about going back and looking at some of those sitcoms and other shows and seeing what the age of those actors were at the time? Like Mr. Drummond from Different Strokes was like 49.
Right.
Like the guys, he was like that much younger than us.
Yeah.
And
God, you sent me
agent.
You sent me a picture of somebody one time. I was like, oh, it's Ed Asner. I was like, God, I wish I was as in good a shape as Ed Asner.
Yes. Oh, yeah, when he's like doing the tug of war on the beach.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We watched that
Yeah.
Battle of the Stars or
Right.
whatever it was. Battle of the Network
He was
Stars.
like younger than us at that age.
That's golden. I'd
Right.
forgotten all about that.
Yeah, that's when TV stars were TV stars, the Battle of the Network Stars.
I mean, they tried to bring it back, and they tried to do it like really try to be faithful to the Battle of Network Stars. It's just so hard to recreate. It was so organic back then, and just everything made sense when you saw Gabe Kaplan and Telly Savalas get into
Gabe Kaplan. Gabe Kaplan. Oh my God!
That was one of the greatest athletic performances of the '80s.
Right.
Him like
Who did he race?
Robert Conrad.
Robert Conrad. That's right.
For all the marbles.
And yeah, so when you see him standing there, you're like, of course Robert Conrad's going to win a foot race. And then Gabe Kaplan laces it up and just kicks
Smokes
his
him.
ass.
So
Like, what is this,
good.
Gabe Kaplan? Where did this come from? And it wasn't by a little bit either. And and it was so bad that he, at the very end, he couldn't say anything other than like, Kaplan kicked my ass.
Yeah, well, we tease him a lot, but
Yeah.
I'm on the spot.
Exactly. Cotter was welcome back, Cotter.
Yeah.
That was great TV.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely.
I loved it.
Do you remember how large Brooklyn was back in the day? The fourth largest city in America. Do you remember that from the opening? That was like
Is that what it said?
yes.
Yeah.
The opening sequence. Fourth largest city in America, Brooklyn, New York.
All right, let's do a little music here.
Oh boy, here we go, Brad.
Let's go.
So if you spent any time in the weight room during the 80s, you'll know the answer to
No.
this.
Go on.
Which band released their album Appetite for Destruction in 1987?
Guns N' Roses.
GNR, baby.
Yeah. So they definitely benefited from the advent of MTV.
For sure.
But they also, I think, had a lot of success in the fact that they mixed their albums for car stereos. I mean, it's everybody had a great car system.
Yeah. That was a
And-
big deal.
Right. The Outfield. Remember that Your Love just
Yeah.
is on a vacation far away.
Yeah.
For a long time, I thought that was the only lyrics because when a car would pass you, that's all you would hear. You wouldn't hear the rest of the album. But yeah, so Guns N' Roses, Axl Rose, they headline. I don't know how many days a year they were out on tour.
Yeah.
But I mean, they were the kings of. They were the staff bearers of rock and roll. It was probably the last great era for rock and roll before grunge hit, and then
Yeah.
the genre kind of just fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like Sunset Strip heavy metal.
Yeah.
You know, Guns N' Roses, Van Halen,
AC/DC,
Poison. You go down the
yeah.
line, like they were at the Roxy and
Motley
all
Crue.
those clubs up and down Sunset Strip, and then it just became
But
huge.
Guns N' Roses. Yeah.
They were as big as any of them.
Yeah. Joel Lydon and I worked at Hy-Vee, and he had a Trans Am, the Trans Am that had the bird on the front.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was he 28 years old and still hanging
Yeah.
around the high school parking lot?
Yeah.
See, buying Purple Passion for 16-year-old girls.
Well, we used to, we would sometimes have some bottles of, what was it called? Jungle Juice? What was it called? What was it? Mad Dog.
Oh, 2020.
Oh yeah, Mad Dog
Not Boone
2020.
Farm. Boone's Farm.
Mad Dog, Boone's Farm.
Sun Country.
And they would-
all
they-
the
yeah.
great vintages.
They would find their way into the back of his Trans Am and Guns N' Roses going up and
Yeah.
down the four lanes. That was 1986 or whatever it was.
Things that found their way to the back of the Trans Am. Mad
Yeah.
Dog 2020 and Freshman Girls.
All right. So what are we drinking on here? What is this?
Oh, yeah. This is Joe. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, that's your winnings from
It's
Oyster
called
Fest.
Bomb Burgers, and someone told me that it's the next level
Is it Michter's? or-
whiskey of Michter's. That's it.
Right.
That's it.
Michter's at one point was Bomb Burgers Distillery, and when they brought Michter's back or created Michter's, Bomb Burgers, and then Shanks is the other previous distillery that was before Michter's.
Okay.
And so this is their annual, super release. They do a Baumburgers and then they do a Shanks.
So an homage to the kind of original name.
Yep.
Is that the deal?
Yep.
And do you know what is this a weeded bourbon? Do you know what
Yeah,
we're doing here?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
It's a brown juice,
Okay.
and
A very copper
Yeah.
note to it. And
Yeah.
you want to just do it?
On
Can
the-
you do a nosing and a tasting for
on
us,
the
Brad?
eyeballs, it's brown,
Yeah.
and then you just
Oh, it's like
in the
bright
nostril.
red. It's like
Is there anybody that loves brown juice more than Brad?
cherry and
It's
oak.
got cherry and oak, and maybe a
There's
little.
a cherry cordial type thing happening. It's got to be weeded.
Yeah, it's pretty fruity.
Yeah, very fruity.
That's smooth.
It tastes a lot different when we haven't
Tastes
had
good.
1,000 sours and stouts
Yeah.
and out in a gravel parking lot.
The first time I had this, it was in the hot sun. Well, not hot, but the warm sun.
It feels
of
a little proofy.
76.
What's the proof on it?
It's
108.
It's a little hot.
Yeah, it brings some heat.
Yeah,
This is nice. Thank you.
it
for
makes me
sharing
want
this
to
with me.
ride uphill into a headwind.
And we are pairing these with a Heinz ice cream sandwich that we
Right.
picked up at Poly Ice Pizza.
Which makes me want to ride downhill.
Brad, it just amazes me you drink such good bourbon and such bad tequila.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
I mean, I could see the good bourbon
Yeah.
part of it, but then insisting on the bad tequila part of it just blows my
If
mind.
you're gonna have tequila, just go at it.
To the worst you can possibly do.
Just let it burn. Let it burn.
Well, thank you for sharing this. This
Yeah.
is a nice
Hey,
gift.
cheers,
Very
guys.
good. Cheers.
Delicious nectar.
Cheers. Cheers.
All right. You guys ready for a speed round?
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm going to give you 4 gaming systems from the 1980s. And then after that, I'm going to give you the game that debuted on that gaming system. And you're going to try to match up the debut game to the gaming system. So the first gaming
So it's
system.
game to game.
Yeah, so you're going to put down the system first. So just write down Atari 2600.
Atari.
The second gaming system is Intellivision. The third gaming system is ColecoVision. And then the last gaming system is Nintendo. All right. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you the games first so you can kind of contemplate it a little bit. And then I'll go back and give you the games again. So the games that we're going to be playing with this time are Zagzon, Major League Baseball, Pitfall, and Legend of Zelda.
Okay.
All right. So I will give them to you again. So match the game Zagzon with one of the... The next is Pitfall. The next game is Legend of Zelda. And last is Major League Baseball, yeah. All right. Anybody need more time?
Yeah, just one more second.
All right.
Admittedly, I didn't own any of this technology except the Atari.
I will tell you, the person in our house that ruled the Atari, and we were a one television home, was my mom. So we had some say in the television shows on certain nights,
Yeah,
but we had no say when my mom wanted to play Atari.
that's fair.
Right. Matter of fact, when one of her big Christmas gifts just a couple years ago was an Atari, and we just kind of thought it would be a funny knockoff thing, and I think they still have a television that accommodates the whatever that yellow, the
adapter goes into
RCA
it, yeah.
cord or whatever it is.
It's not USB.
No, slugging a television through the generations so my mom can still get her Donkey Kong on.
That's awesome.
All right, you guys ready?
I think so. I mean,
Yes.
So we'll start with you, Brad. What did you have? What was the gaming system for Pitfall?
Atari.
John?
Coleco.
Joe?
I had Nintendo.
And Pitfall debuted on the Atari 2600.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm pretty sure I'm going to go 0 for 4.
Yeah, I will.
Well,
I
too
didn't
now.
have any of this game.
Listen, I did not pick.
We had Atari and we played Pitfall, so I was.
Well,
confident
I
in
know
that.
it was on all the games, but I actually
okay.
thought
So
it
they-
debuted on Coleco.
So the question
Right.
is,
Yeah.
where did it? Okay.
Where did it
Debut,
start?
Yeah, right,
Yeah.
right. Because all of these people at some point now, Nintendo was
Crossed
the
over.
most notorious for holding on to their games.
Okay.
Yeah, there were a lot of crossovers.
No.
So we will go to the next one, and this was one of my favorites because it was the most detailed and the most responsive, accurate to response. You had to actually press the right buttons in order to make it work. So, Joe, what'd you have for Major League Baseball?
In television.
John?
In television.
Brad?
Nintendo.
It was in television. And my buddy Chad Kessner had 3 gaming systems, and he was the only person that had in television, and that thing took a pounding. I mean, it really took a pounding. And I don't even know where you would get an Intellivision. I mean, they had to have gone to Des Moines in order to pull that off, or Cedar Rapids or something like that. Because in Centerville, they just didn't have you couldn't go to Pomida to get an Intel, or Western Auto.
Well, and you were talking about, remember the insert you would put in?
Yeah.
And then you would have to hit, it had all the players on it, and when the ball was hit, you'd have to hit the right fielder to field it, and then first base to throw it. But there was one fatal flaw with Major League Baseball and television, and that is you could bunt for a home run.
Right. Right.
If nobody touched the bunt, and it got all the way to the fence, they would call it a home run.
Right. No. They and television had another great game. It was called B-52 Bomber.
Uh-huh.
I shouldn't have said it was a great game. They had a game called B-52 Bomber, and you basically had moments of, like, you'd go 6 minutes of just flying around Europe before you would have any action. There'd be like 25 seconds of bombing, and then it was another 5 minutes of doing nothing except flying over France. All right, so the next one, Zagzon. So Zagzon, I think, had kind of these geometric shapes, and then you were on the outside of it with a shape. I will tell you, you controlled it with a rotator pod, so that will kind of tell you who this was if you don't already have it. So Zagzon.
No, I'm going to go Coleco. And I'm changing that because I had Pitfalls Coleco.
Right.
No, I had Coleco as well.
Oh, okay.
So Coleco, it was Coleco. So one of the things about Coleco that I thought that I liked quite a bit was you could still play a lot of like tennis and pong and stuff like that. But Coleco was also like a lot of the racing games. They had a lot of, because you basically had this miniature steering wheel at your access where you could race Grand Prix, and it had some kind of fast processors too, so you could actually feel like you were racing. All right, so last but not least, a game that I think they just released on multiple systems, The Legend of Zelda. Brad?
Well, I mean, I've got a lot of things crossed out here, and I didn't play a lot of these games, to be honest with you, but it must be Nintendo.
Right. Joe?
Mm-hmm. No, I thought it was an Atari game.
So that would make sense. I would say, so if you played Legend of Zelda, John, what'd you have?
Well, full disclosure, I originally had in television, but it's obviously Nintendo by process of elimination.
Right. So, this game has ColecoVision or Intellivision written all over it. 100%. I mean, it blows me away that it was a Nintendo game, because Nintendo games are kind of fast and responsive, like Super Mario Brothers, and but no, it debuted as a Legend of Zelda Nintendo Entertainment System. So, all right, boys, you got it all out of your systems?
I think so.
Another great pod. Joe, thanks for dropping by, man. It's always good to see you. I'm glad we got to have a little whiskey with you again.
Yeah, thanks, Brad, for this. It's good. Spawnburger's good.
Hey, thanks, everybody, for tuning in. It's always good to see and hear from you. If you want to interact with us, you can find us at Deep Dive Pod on the Facebook. You can also drop us an email at deepdivepod2025@gmail.com. We love to hear from everybody. And until next time, bye-bye.